I'm confident, I'm not arrogant. I don't think I'm better than others. The way Phyna was behaving and moving, to me, is not confidence. It's arrogance. I don't think I'm wrong today. Like, 100% don't think I'm wrong today.
Like, there were so many instances for him to, like, be honest with me, and he just chose not to, and that I'm never speaking to him again. And I don't think he wants to speak to me too, and that's very fine. And I hope he doesn't, because he won't like what we hear.
Sure. Okay. You know what, guys? I think it's proper if we start this particular video with a question, all right? It's long overdue anyways. So the question of this video is, do you think Sheggz is arrogant or confident? Which is it for you? I mean, you've been watching the show. You've been listening to his conversations. You've been seeing his behavior in Biggie's house. What exactly do you think Sheggz' personality leans towards? Do you think he leans towards, or rather he leans towards arrogance, or do you think he's just plain confident, right? Now, in comparison to Sheggz, let's talk about Phyna as well. Do you think Phyna is more arrogant than confident, or more confident than arrogant? Guys, what are your thoughts about these two housemates and their personality types? Please go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. And please, if you can, right, just provide your reasons, all right? And aside these questions, guys, please, by the time you're done watching this video, kindly move on to my community tab. There's going to be a poll right there waiting for you. We're going to vote on this because this is a serious matter. Yes, we're going to vote on this, so kindly engage the poll on my community tab. Now, moving on to the matter of this video, it's all about the level of housemates first diary session as a merged house. All right, now a few of them first had their diary session today. Remember, there are a lot in number now. I think there are 21 in number, so some of them had their diary session and it was quite insightful, and 3 housemates diary session really caught my interest, and I'm going to be focusing the content, the details of their diary session on this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. So please watch to the end, and as usual, the comment section is always open for you to kindly engage me with your thoughts and also share your thoughts, your perception, your opinion about what will be discussed on this video right now. Without much further ado, let me first of all officially welcome all of you back to my YouTube channel. Hi, you're welcome back. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory, and I am the girl with the tea. And the tea of this video is what I have just hinted you about, all right? So before we get into it, I just want to urge those of you that are still new on here, that you are a visitor, you just move in here once in a while, get your gist, and then you move. Please kindly do exactly what you see on your screen, all right? Subscribe, turn on post notification. That is one of the easiest ways for you to become a legit member of this family. That is one of the easiest ways for you to always receive a lot of my videos whenever I upload a new one, all right? All of that out of the way now, let's quickly get into the crux of the matter of this video. Frankly speaking, biggest questions today during the diary session had been quite triggering. Yeah, quite triggering, if I do say so myself, because Big Brother had been very specific about calling names whilst asking the housemates questions, especially a particular question that has to do with the housemates sharing their opinion about the bonds and friendships in the house ever since they were merged, you know, together since on Sunday. And I guess that Big Brother had to be very specific about the names he was calling because, you know, the thing about these are housemates, and it's not just about the level of housemates. It happens from season to season, you know, with Big Brother Naija. These housemates are never specific. You see, when they're having conversations with Big Brother in the diary room, they always use that language of,
people always say, oh, people think, oh, some people are guys.
It's like they're going into the diary session to gossip with Big Brother, and Biggie does not like such vagueness in communication. Biggie is always big and heavy on specifics in communication, and it reminded Modella, especially today during her own diary session. Now guys, I'm not even going to talk about Modella because that is going to be a waste on this video, so let me just ignore her own diary session. She was just very annoying, to be honest, but I'm going to ignore her. Now, the first housemate that I took interest in her own diary session was Joey. So besides other questions that Biggie had asked, you know, about her nominations, who did she nominate, why did she nominate the people she nominated, she's actually giving very, very valid reasons, but I don't want to dwell on her nominations. I mean, guys, it's their nomination privilege, so they will definitely use it the way they want to use it. Now, the next question, Biggie had asked her about friendships in the house, about Allison specifically. You know, guys, it's amazing how I get to see most of these things happening before they even happen. And honestly, I bless God. I bless God for helping me see these things. The video I dropped yesterday, or one of the videos I dropped yesterday about my predictions, you know, things I was expecting to come off this new merger that Big Brother did of the two levels, guys, it's beginning to unfold. It's beginning to unfold. The fight between Phyna and Sheggz this morning was one of it, the major highlight of it, yeah. And then I also mentioned in that particular video about the strain in the relationship between Allison and Doyin. I talked about the fact that Allison had completely abandoned Doyin and was now moving on with Daniela and what's his name now, Hyannis, but more towards Daniela. And I think it's because both of them were actually roommates during the lockdown period that they observed before the actual show started. So Biggie had asked Doyin about her friendship with Allison, and according to Doyin, she has noticed that since Big Brother merged the two levels together, Allison had been moving weirdly.
And I'm like, was this ever real? Because we cannot be upstairs and, you know, I'm your all in all, and even when I'm not speaking to you, you're coming to me like, are we good? We should be speaking.
Like, Allison has been very, very distant, very, very far off from her, that she understands that Allison has been trying to, you know, possibly create new connections in the house and possibly relink with her friend, that's Daniela, whom they had spent time together during the lockdown, who had been her roommate during the lockdown. But then what she did not understand is the way it seems as though Allison just completely cut off from her. And guys, let's be very frank about it. Doyin was not messianing. Doyin was not assuming. Nah, this is a fact. This is a reality. It's something that I noticed and I had to bring it to your attention on the video I dropped yesterday about that conversation, guys. It's real. And the way Allison is going about it, she's being so intentional about it. And what I saw instantly was a pattern. The same way Allison has been treating Doyin since on Sunday evening is the same way she treated Adekunle. Guys, you all know the story between Adekunle and Allison, so there's no need to even go into it anymore. But if there's one lesson that we got from it, yeah, it's the fact that Allison used and dumped Adekunle. That's on period. Yeah, she used him, she dumped him. Adekunle was never really interested in Allison as a ship couple or whatever, as a couple. Nah. He respected Allison as a friend. As a matter of fact, Adekunle was more closer to, you know, Jotun, Doyin. They were just like a clique, right? A clique of friends. And then Allison started moving towards Adekunle. To cut long story short, she got there, she experienced what she wanted to experience, and according to her, oh, the guy is gonna get too emotionally deep into the whole thing. I don't want to be emotionally available. I want to be free, blah, blah, blah. And then she, boom, served him hot breakfast, unprovoked. Abandoned him. And guys, you all agree with me as well that has sort of messed up with Adekunle's game ever since, I think it was since on Sunday that Biggie moved them in together with the level 1 or the level 2 housemates, that Adekunle started regaining a bit of his sanity back because he was now able to mingle with other people. So to cut long story short, the same thing that Allison dished out to Adekunle, that's the same thing that she's dishing out to Doyin this time around. And this time around, guys, it's quite interesting that she's not even having any conversation directly with Doyin. Of course, Doyin had tried on 1 or 2 occasions to remind her that, hey, I'm here, I'm your friend. Don't forget what we have. You know, she's been too neck deep into it. Like, the way she literally cut off Doyin, it's like they never had a thing upstairs. It's like Doyin and Allison's friendship never existed. And guys, it's really appalling, and it's making me wonder, like, wow. So people come onto this show to not just win, but to form connections. Is Allison trying to say that this thing, whatever friendship she had with Doyin especially, it never did make any sense to her? I mean, guys, it's really appalling, but I would love to know your thoughts about it, all right? Now, moving on, Doyin had also talked about Deji. Of course, Big Brother had asked her about Deji, so she had responded. So it wasn't like she was the one that brought up the conversation. I mean, she was over and done with Deji's conversation, right? So it really brought out the pain that she had felt, you know, ever since she discovered that whilst she was talking to Deji and Deji was leading her on, Deji was actually sleeping in Chichi's bed, they were kissing, they were smooching, they were cuddling, they were doing all manner of things.
I wasn't seeing anything, and every time I would ask him, he would say, oh, no, there's nothing. In fact, I can never like a girl like that. Yeah, you didn't see the way I shouted at her that day.
Hey.
I can't now. No, honestly, I want to get close to you. It's just I don't want to do it in this house.
Now, in my previous video, I had told you all that, yes, we all agree that Doyin was very, very, forthcoming with Deji. She was very, very outspoken and vocal about her feelings and sentiments towards him. And on one hand, Deji kept on refusing, but on the other hand, Deji refused to let go. He kept on giving her hope that for now they should get to know each other, that outside the house, they will pursue a friendship, they will pursue something different. That for now, he wants to focus on the reason he's in the house. And then he had indirectly hinted to Doyin that he was a fake housemate. So all the while, Deji was leading Doyin on. And whenever he wanted to speak with Doyin, he would send Adekule in Doyin's room or any other person in Doyin's room or Hermes to come and call on Doyin for him. So what I argued was, if really Deji felt like Doyin was like a leech that was crawling under his skin, he could have just, given her that gap, created that defense between both of them, but he did not. So Doyin was really hurt as she kept on forgetting her emotions, that she was really hurt when someone had actually told her that, hey, in our room, this is exactly what's been going on between myself and Deji. So it made her feel really small because, come on, there's an existing ship that this guy has with Chichi of all people, and then he led me on to this extent and made me feel like, oh, I was quite important to him, even though he did not outrightly ask me to be his girlfriend.
I'm just like, why didn't you just tell me, okay, but there's someone else? So I could have just kept that boundary and moved away and respected them.
Another thing that really hurt her was the fact that Chichi started making sly remarks. Chichi started attacking her, throwing little jabs at her here and there that, oh, you know that I am with this guy, and then you're trying to come in between me and this guy. Nonsense, rubbish. See this small girl, don't you know I'm a bad bee? Look at my body, look at you, that kind of thing. All those insulting comparisons, Chichi started throwing those jabs at Doyin. Now she feels really horrible, yeah, because in our own opinion, she would never go in between something that any of the couples have in the house. So she wished that she could have a conversation with Chichi, right, just to clear the air that, listen, I never knew that Deji had actually made advances at you, or whilst he was still talking to me. So guys, I really felt bad for Doyin, and I really do hope that she finds the closure that she deserves. But for Deji, that guy, 600 years for him. And the next housemates diary session that was kind of like a huge turn off for me, yeah, was Sheggz.
You said it's easy to mistake your confidence for arrogance.
100%.
And yet, you accused her of being too confident.
I don't believe that what Phyna is doing is confidence, Big Brother.
So as usual, we all know Sheggz in his true nature. He went into the diary room, as usual, always trying to vindicate himself, always trying to make himself look like the saint, always trying to make himself look like he is clean of all accusations, like he has never fucked up in his life, hands in the air, I am the innocent one here. And guys, guess what? As usual, Big Brother called him out on his bullshit. So this guy, as usual, Big Brother asked him, if he had anything else he wanted to talk about, and he decided to talk about the fight he had with Phyna this morning. Now, the way he talked about it, he literally removed all blames from himself, like he did not think he did anything wrong. And then he started chanting repeatedly that he's confident, he's not arrogant. He's confident, he's not arrogant, right? And then he felt like Phyna was being extremely arrogant, that Phyna is not confident, Phyna is arrogant. So Big Brother had asked him that, doesn't he think that there are times that he's also wrong and he doesn't accept he's wrong for it? And he's like, oh, absolutely not. Because in this situation, he does not think he's wrong. He thinks Phyna does not have any right to talk to anybody like that because Phyna was making herself look like number one, whereas nobody knows how the game is going to pan out. Like, guys, to be very honest, yeah, Sheggz was just capping, as usual. He was just blabbing, because this is not me trying to make a case for Phyna. Phyna never in any way, bragged that she was better than any of the housemates. Phyna never did such a thing. The only thing that happened was that after the live nomination process yesterday, they were all joking about it. Like, hey, Casaladon boss, hey, it has finally happened. Hey, we are all finally up for nomination for possible eviction. And Phyna had thrown jokes, just as everybody else had been joking as well. That, me, I've been up for nomination plenty times, oh. Come, let me teach you how it feels to be up for nomination. They were all joking about it. And they were laughing about it. So the attack that Sheggz had on Phyna today, guys, it was unprovoked. I have done a video about it, and I told you all that, listen, fine, Phyna had her own fault, yes, for thinking that level 1 housemate should understand her feelings at that point in time, right? But then, Sheggz attacked Phyna unprovoked. As a matter of fact, guys, we got the full gist later that after Phyna left, Groovy went to go and beg her. She came back, and she was quiet, and she was paying attention to the deliberation sessions. And then, Sheggz took it up again and was insulting her. And that was when he said that, oh, you think you're number 1 in this place. If they put you and I together, you are going to go home definitely because I know that people love me, that kind of thing. And that was what had actually triggered Phyna and the rest of the other housemates that were actually, you know, open-minded about the whole situation. So that's why I asked you all the question at the start of this video. Is Sheggz confident or arrogant? And is Phyna confident or arrogant? So guys, once again, I urge you all, let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. But one thing I really loved about his diary session was the fact that Big Brother was able to call him out on his bullshit. But then, sadly, Sheggz is so full of himself, his head is so neck deep in his ass, that even when Big Brother is trying to hint him that, dude, what you're doing, it's probably not really going well with the viewing audience, he doesn't really pay attention. For him, he's right. Sheggz is right. Sheggz is always right. Last but not the least, Giddyfire's diary session really cracked me up. And it made a lot of sense. Yes.
Bella, Sheggz, it's hard to get them to come out for rehearsal. Chichi also the same thing. She's all like for practice, or when it's time to talk, it's only talk that they will do. But when it's time to do, nobody's putting in actions. But when it's time to criticize, yeah, that was actually my only problem.
I told you all about the many questions that Big Brother was asking. So one of those questions was how the housemates felt about the change in the nomination privileges, right? Because Big Brother, of course, had revoked their nomination privileges last night and had put up all the housemates up for eviction this week. Of course, we know still that it's a fake eviction. Giddyfire was so excited. He was so excited. This dude was just rambling on, and he had now started talking about his reasons for being really excited. He had mentioned Bella, Sheggz, Chichi, Chomzy, and a few other housemates who never pulled their weight, you know, whilst they were still referred to as a level 1 housemate. They never contributed anything to the task. They never added anything valuable, even meaningful to the task. But then, when they won, they will come and take all the glory. Or when other people gave their own opinions, their own ideas, you will see them clamping down hard on those people's ideas. And then if it now happens that they failed the task, they will not be the ones to heavily criticize the people that have been putting in the work. So he was so upset. And now the fact that they're all up for eviction, it's the highlight for him. He's really excited about it because he wants them to actually feel the tension. Now, guys, I was really excited when Giddyfire was saying all of these things because what he was saying was just basically the same thing that I have been saying on my channel. That the likes of Bella, Sheggz, Chichi, and Chomzy, whilst they were still in the level 1 household, they were heads. Even till now, guys, we're seeing it happening. These people, they were so dense, they never contribute anything. And that's the same reason that Phyna, you know, felt really attacked this morning. And that was what resulted in the fight she had with Sheggz. However, what really pissed me off is the fact that Giddyfire, in my opinion, was acting like a coward. Like, bruv, you of all people, you, in a way, partially also had your own little sense to the creation and the execution of tasks in your level. So why didn't you ever call out these people? Why did you behave like a coward? Why didn't you ever call them out? Why didn't you ever confront them? Why didn't you ever lay it outrightly to them? So you will keep quiet in front of them, or every time you'll be laughing, you'll be using your laughter as a shield. And the way you now come into the diary room, we'll not be hearing you speaking so much sense. I say, Benny, please keep quiet and then swallow it like a man that you are. But guys, I'm super excited that he actually reviewed all of those things again. But you know what? I'm super excited that he actually said it again and again. And this is where I'm going to end this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. So please just go ahead and express yourself. And I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Do have an amazing, amazing evening.